So welcome back. We are once again past the dice. Going ahead and jumping in another adventure, a Daggerheart adventure. So, where we last left off, man, what an event, thinking back at it. The party ended up following the lead of where the Merfolk were discovering but following the lead where the Merfolk were residing up in, and through a few things, you guys ended up discovering actually where the water temple was. Diving down deep into the kind of the abyss below. The party, kind of by the skin of their teeth, ended up making it into the water temple and dissected as they went down further and further just what these mer people were doing. Later, you found out there might have been some kind of influence to it. Not exactly them operating in their own right state of mind. You notice that people were being used for ritualistic purposes to kind of create a portal. That opened up a gate to the void where the Crawling King's armies was able to begin to kind of trickle through. And as you got deeper into the actual temple itself, after discovering those, basically the motive and things of that nature of why these individuals were doing that, you guys ended up breaking up into two groups. You ended up, I would say, Eddie and Hawthorne, the two of you ended up safety and protection of the people that were being held for these ritualistic purposes. Some of their limbs, skin, things actually ripped and torn off of them or surgically removed. That was your guys' priority to getting them out and safe as the temple essentially began to flood with water. Felely, Oram, and Zephyr decided to go in deeper to try and see if they could stop the where this water was coming from to give their party the best chance of survival. Oram, you ended up going ahead to closing essentially the faucet of this, which was later discovered a decayed sea wyvern. Something not too akin from some of the depictions of Leviathan that Hawthorne was able to decipher. And then Felely, kind of the cause of this whole disaster. There was like a child almost raising their hands up and praying to this water, taking out the key from their forehead and dismembering them, which seemed to have completely changed the trajectory and mental state of the Merfolk.
Yeah.
Of which they ended up fleeing immediately.
I was afraid that we were going to have to fight them
Yeah,
as soon as we got the key and stuff, but yeah.
But back over to Hawthorne, just as a recap, Hawthorne and Eddie ended up swimming out to the closest place which felt as safe as that could be, was the shipyard that was completely like a ship graveyard, where everyone ended up bringing up a lot of the folk that were drowning and things of that nature, and almost created their own, between the two of them, their own sacred flame. That Hawthorne, as you kind of face death in the face, you called upon your deity Ramza to save you, and you were yoinked from the sea itself. And when that happened, the corruption of the Crawling King ended up burning away from the sea itself. And you are now, all of you, and Felely and Oram, you ended up making your way to the shipyard. I expedited things after you guys did investigating inside the temple.
Oh yeah.
You ended up partway through swimming to the shipyard. You notice that and I would say Felely, you notice this immediately, is that there are clear waters where it was kind of black as night, like a almost tar-like substance that you would swim through. So as you submerge and you see the group, and you notice that Hawthorne and Eddie are creating this healing wave that seems to have healed a lot of people that were like drowning. You can see that some of them are hurled over and coughing up the black kind of tar, this black water out of their mouths. And you even notice that some, as they're hurling this stuff up, like some of them that were like missing like an ear or like their tongue and things like that regenerate because of the healing aura that Hawthorne and Eddie were able to produce. Now after when this happens, Hawthorne, you stand your ground as you're kind of hovering over everybody, but you notice that as Eddie was engulfed in this kind of almost holy-like electric flame that came from the two of you, he immediately collapses.
Brother!
It just seemed to have overloaded him. He's breathing. You do check his pulse. You do check that he is, breathing. But he falls back, and when he does, like almost hits the ground with an immeasurable amount of weight, like the wood underneath it. Even though it is like water soaked, it kind of indents in just due to the sheer weight of Eddie. And you notice, and you notice that he, like his flames kind of, they're still there, but they've dwindled quite a bit. You do hear off into the distance the sound of a bell, and there was a ship approaching. As it begins getting closer, you begin hearing the commotion of like the fishermen kind of commenting on the water, being able to see underneath where there's now like these crystal clear waters. It's dark out, it's still nighttime, but it's not like seeing your own reflection as if it was in a mirror. You can actually see the fish down below and kind of actually be able to notice that the corruption, whatever was there, seems to have disappeared. Another thing to note is that Eddie and Hawthorne, your scars were removed in that moment when you were touched by
Jesus.
Jesus. But Ramza being touched by him. So you all are kind of have a moment to yourselves, out of breath. I know this was a week ago for us, but just completely exhausted. Not entirely on the brink of death, but definitely dancing with death during the moment. You see all these people kind of wandering around and looking and kind of cheering that, these prisoners that didn't think that they would make it to the next day are okay, and they're happy, there's celebration. And you do notice that there are ships coming out to sea, or coming out to sea from port. So I'll let you guys have a moment to yourselves as this moment of celebration, this moment of victory, I would say.
Well, glad to see you two alive.
Felely always survives.
Tip of the spear.
I pick up, oh my gosh, I forgot his name.
What's that?
Eddie. I wanted to say the other one. From the last campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Cole. But I pick up Eddie. Like,
He is heavy. Like, very, very heavy. But with your stature,
I was like,
doesn't
I pick him up.
starts doing that.
It's like metal? Can I like...
Yeah.
He's like a meteorite, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
So it seems like, when you hold him up, and like I said, that there is that kind of dwindling flame, like almost like after a campfire is done, and in the morning, you can kind of see just a little bit of the embers in between, like the actual wood itself, whatever pieces that you may have. It's like, I don't want to paint the image of molten rock, but It kind of is like that. There's like a light flame, but you can kind of see just a metallic form underneath, a meteorite, so to speak, and it kind of glistens off of the moon's. I'm sorry, glistens kind of off of the light that the holy light that Hawthorne's kind of producing right now, healing everyone. You do notice kind of sharper features under the flames, not really eyes where like our human eyes are. They're more like slots. If it was almost like a metallic mask that seems to be over one's face. A very thin slit where you assume where his mouth is, but you can kind of see these features just barely.
Can I see the gills that I saw before? On him?
No, unfortunately. It seems like those are gone.
Okay. I was just curious.
Take your masks off.
Damn, this guy's heavy.
We're on the boat, right?
Yeah, you guys are kind of... Well, you're on, like, basically a abandoned, like, shipyard. Almost like a ship graveyard right now. And you do see some boats kind of getting closer and closer.
Okay.
So they haven't arrived just yet.
Should we signal them?
I reckon they can see your shot. Oh.
I threw it. Fair enough. Either of you need healing, by the way.
Let's go feel he's chilling.
I think I'm alright.
I figure we'll take a rest, but just in case you guys are that bad.
Let's go feel he's hungry, though.
Yeah.
You just had a snack.
Hungry for other things.
Hungry for people.
That's what I mean, is you eat the kid's head.
Yeah, it was a dead kid. You know,
It's good enough.
it's not feeling.
It's not filling.
It's right. In fact, you kind of feel like there's like still, you're feeling a little yucky. That felt very rotten, as if it's been decayed for years. But Felely, you notice, like reflecting back at that moment, and interestingly enough, seeing the last moments of maybe. It could have been the last moments of a planet, the last moments of basically whatever this child witnessed. You can kind of reflect back on those moments of like an annihilation of a plane of existence.
Yeah.
And you kind of look down and you're still gripping this kind of the same key that Oram kind of yoinked out of the Ent. Or the, basically the creature in the forest temple has the same design. You notice that there are kind of almost golden etchings into this almost sapphire-looking gem that you had taken out of the child's head. But it does glow just slightly. Very similar to the previous one. I would say at this moment you do notice that the ships begin to kind of make their way out, and you notice that one of the children that was saved during that time kind of begins pointing out, we're here, and she's hopping up and down. And you do notice, like, the first ship that kind of goes on, the one that is helming the ship itself is Captain Tusk, who you met at the docks only a day or two earlier. And he looks wide-eyed and begins to kind of call his men around, and they go ahead and throw anchor off the boat and begin to kind of drift your way and navigating where there are some of the broken boats and things of that nature, these kind of large coral spikes coming out of the waters themselves and navigating to park quite close. You notice immediately a kind of like a lifeboat kind of flips on down. You see Captain Tusk and a few of his mates kind of begin to row towards you. He hops on up and he looks at everyone, and you notice that this orc woman that was a part of the group that was saved runs up and kind of grabs a hold of him. And for memory's sake, because I know it's been even longer, he is the one that posted the bounty. The two of them embrace the woman whom, unfortunately, you can tell that her eyes are still gone, but her tongue was restored. And he takes off basically his bandana and kind of wraps it around her eyes. And, he comes on over and he notices the four of you and the limp body of Eddie immediately.
Just the bro.
Yeah. He comes on over and he looks with kind of almost like a wild look in his eyes as he scans all of you. And who did this? And he looks around, pointing at the group, and the orc woman, whom is blind still, kind of said, They led us through ocean and tide and brought us here. And he's just kind of in this awe, in this moment of just, what is the real story that happened here?
What's going on here?
I hold out my hand to him and I go, well, if you get us to shore, buy us a drink, I have a hell of a tale for you.
I'd love to hear it.
And you, green boy, you owe us some money.
That I do. I can't believe you found my daughter. Thank you.
Hey.
I got a lot of money for you.
That's what Felely likes to hear.
Let's go feel these two, bro.
Well, let's get the survivors on board and get everyone up. So, roughly, about 20-30 minutes of rowing back and forth and bringing everyone aboard. You get this odd sensation being on a boat for the first time. This is something that I would say the only person that would have experienced this, technically, I mean, Hawthorne and Oram, you guys did experience that at one point in time, but nothing.
Would we ripped across
Remember
that
the
thing?
Alamo? Just kidding.
But it was something much larger. Like this was like you felt every ripple as you were like jet skiing essentially across the underground lake that you had visited previously. But this is almost like a weirdly smooth ride. And you can hear some of the sails, like the seamen, kind of make comments of just how smooth the waters seem to be by comparison to where they had almost had to fight the water to make it out to sea. So you do notice like there's everyone is kind of talking amongst one another. And I would say, Felely, you grew up in a settlement, where was predominantly like a lake, and you never liked the water. Like you never liked like boats. You thought if you were going to get into the water, you just go in the water.
That's what Felely says, boats are for liberals.
So it was just kind of an interesting, like, I would say, feeling being on top of such a thing. But eventually you make it back into town. They pull up port, throw anchor, and the families, the people are cheering. There's a sense of like excitement and relief. Captain Tusk like turns to you. Go collect your reward at the Courier's Guild. Plenty there for you. Got my sign off. Later tonight, come find me at one of the bars. I'll see you there. Drinks all on me.
Oram like breathed in like super full wind up.
He does that too. Just give us the handshake.
It's like boom, handshake, and you're holding Eddie's lifeless body.
Does it like wiggle around, or is it like rock, just like straight, like solid?
Interestingly enough, it's almost as if the body is kind of seized up. So it's not like there's like a ragdoll effect at all. It is like just rigid.
Master Chief with armor lock.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's a pretty good example of that.
Yeah.
Just in this form of stasis. He states that I know that Tyr was looking for that key. Make sure that you go visit him at above the Courier's Guild. You can tell like he is a little emotional. You can tell that he is kind of just overwhelmed with the fact that everyone's okay. And that he kind of just is in a loss of words. You can see that families are being reunited and things of that nature as like commotion begins. Like a lot of the townsfolk begin to kind of migrate down to the docks and are celebrating seeing their loved ones that they thought that were lost forever, but reunited. What would the three of you like to do at this moment? Collect the money?
Definitely
paid.
want
Let's get
to,
some money.
but I also want to drop Eddie off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should throw him in his room or something.
Maybe I should.
No,
should
where's
I
a big
just take
fire?
him?
We
Let's-
just need we need a big fireplace. We're gonna go put him in the fire.
Like
We gotta cook him back up,
Get that bonfire going. I guess I'll just take him with us.
He's gonna carry him.
Gonna just like bend him over your shoulder.
Well, we get a torrent, and he's that's where our rooms are, right? We just dump him in his
Are
room.
you guys okay with me?
Yeah, let's go give him the key, and we can dump what's his face in
Dump-
his room. And,
Dump him where
yeah,
stuff happened.
yeah. Throw him right on the cum stains, you know?
All right. Yeah. Why not?
Maybe he'll burn him out, you know?
Yeah.
Just that residual heat.
Yeah. I'll say that you guys go ahead and do that. You make your way up to the second floor and find Felely's room, or Eddie's room, and then kind of just lay him down in the same position that he's in this odd stasis mode. But, you know, you do notice that the flame retardant material that they made an accommodation for his bed is there and present. And he's laying down in just like this awkward kind of position as he
He's Peter
collapsed.
Griffin posed.
Yeah. I remember when we checked the doors and he's like, "No!" You remember that? Because we checked all three.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "No!"
Yeah, as we're like doing this, we're all just chatting about how traumatized Eddie's gonna be when he wakes up in his bed.
And something of note, you guys did get some things when you were searching around.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got a blue dragon crystal.
Huh?
I picked up a blue dragon crystal thing.
Blue dragon.
I wrote it down.
It was like a talisman.
Yeah,
Oh,
talisman.
that's right, the necklace thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't that on the child?
That was.
Yeah.
It was on the chop.
And then it was the elven artifact cloak for me
Yeah.
that I found as well, which I was quite interested in.
Yeah.
And then we
Definitely,
have
if
the
you're
key.
able to bring it, you can try at some point in time to try and identify it yourself, or since you're in town,
I'll just
you're
give it
able
to
to
the
bring it to
scholars.
the scholars both.
I'll just do that.
What time would you say it is when we get back into town?
When you get
Like,
back
after
into
we drop
town,
him
I would say that it is probably a little bit later. More than likely, probably around like 7 p.m.
Oh, okay.
give or take. We migrating to the Courier's Guild.
I said, let's get a paycheck.
I'll say we get paid.
Get paid.
Okay.
Get paid.
So you guys end up making it into the Courier's Guild. You immediately are greeted with kind of the pub on your right hand side. You see a sand pit. The past few times that you've been here, there were like fights and things going on, bare knuckle fighting.
Extra money.
But eventually make your way kind of a little bit downstairs, and there you're kind of greeted with familiar dwarf with kind of like a little bit of a lazy eye as you kind of go on in, and he immediately sees Felely being the courier. Well, I be damned. It looks like you ended up making word on your promise.
Felely always fulfills his word.
Oh, I already heard that you ended up bringing a lot over. That being said, there was a bonus if you're able to recover some of the lost people. So,
Mrs. Hawthorne.
from the count that I had,
Good work.
we ended up having 12 people return safe and sound. Some of them missing limbs, but the life's a life.
Let's go. Felely got hungry.
So
doesn't react.
Like, fair enough.
He's like, I've heard of it.
Oh yeah. What else to do?
sometimes you gotta eat. He kind of like almost has a distant look in his eye as he stares off.
And the other one
The other one, it rolls off to the right hand side. Sorry. Remembering old times.
Good
I just give a look to him.
Now, that being said, and I will kind of reiterate this because we did do a quick currency figure out of how the actual terms are. Previously, there was, I forget how much was rewarded for that. I think Felely, you wrote it down.
Dude, I don't know. It was
It's quite a bit. But with the new currency, I just want to make sure that it translates right.
2 bags. Yeah, reward was 2 bags for the sea monster quest.
Okay. I think it was 2 bags per person.
I think so. Yeah.
So that being said, with the new currency and the added bonus, I'm actually going to keep it at 2 bags, but you each get an additional 1 bag.
Oh, sweet.
So you get 3 bags of gold for each of you.
Sick.
And then you said 1 bag equals how much gold pieces?
All of
those.
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
Handfuls.
So basically, you'll fill in those
Once
or
you fill
subtract those,
Gotcha.
and then once it goes all the way up, you get a bag. Makes
Okay.
way more
Yeah.
sense. I don't know why I didn't look it up.
No, you're good. You're good.
So our viewers, I apologize.
No, you're good.
I fuck with it.
Oh yeah. So you have 3 bags added to your purse.
We'll have to make. Yeah, we'll tell. I'll make sure to tell Eddie.
Yep. Once he awakens.
Yes.
That being
She's gonna tuck
said,
his gold under his
um,
arm.
Zephyr looks at the bags as he throws it onto the table, and he takes his 3 that he got and gives 1 each to you. So you have a total of 4 bags.
Damn, dude.
Damn.
He's
You have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Sure, can I buy you
No.
a drink at least?
You could buy me 4.
Senor Zephyr, are you retarded?
I hit my head pretty hard
Just dropped as a child.
several times, but I adapt. So add that to your purse, so you have a total of 4 bags.
Okay, yeah.
Quite a bit of change. And previous change, don't worry about it. You just keep it as is. Moving forward, we'll kind of base it off this logic. Now, what about you? Well, who wants to give the report to Tyr?
I'll do it.
You
I'll
guys.
do it. You guys want to come?
I'm gonna sit my ass down in the corner and relax, but I'm gonna come.
You gotta drop that key off, right?
Let's try to sell it, actually.
Felely's gonna toss it to you.
He's like, I want to get some.
Go handle it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Oram, you're going, or Hawthorne, are you going with, or is it just Oram?
I'm gonna go with Oram.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be talking a whole lot, but Hawthorne's a little tired right now.
Yep. So Felely and Zephyr kind of give a quick wave to you guys, and then Felely, what did you want to do?
Bosco Felely's hungry.
Okay.
He's gonna go eat somebody.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Or at least try.
Or at least try. Fair enough. You're not. I would imagine that you're kind of aware that was a weird dream that you had previously. But I mean, in the conflict, in the battle in the temple,
Yeah.
you've realized a few things about yourself.
He just knows he wants blood.
Yeah,
He's starving for
he's
it.
starving for it.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put a pin with Zephyr and Felely. Hawthorne and Oram, you end up making your way upstairs. And once again, you're adorned with this kind of black marble. It's a very beautiful place. It seems like, once again, it might have been something in the past life, but this is like an office now. And you see Tyr kind of get on up, and he looks at both of you and is kind of once again shocked. He's like, You're back to yourself. What?
It's
a long story, mate.
Well, it's good to see you back with muscles. And he like kind of slaps your shoulder a little bit. Hawthorne, how you doing?
Hanging in there. It's been an interesting 48 hours, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And I flip the key around.
You got the second key. You hand it up and he grabs
We got
it. He takes the other one. It's interesting. He pushes it into one another. And when that happens, it kind of lines up almost perfectly to a V. And when that happens, unbeknownst to you, liquid from the blue, kind of almost like two liquids are combining at this point in time inside of the actual crystal itself. And it kind of makes this odd, like, turquoisey looking color between the two, making this V. And he kind of, almost with a sigh of relief, oh, they fit. All right.
Well, that's interesting.
The third one goes up on the other side.
Mind giving us a little bit more than that?
Well,
Given we risked life and limb at this point.
Yeah, what else does it do? Like,
so, once these three are connected, and he kind of gets on up and dusts himself off, and he's wearing his traditional, like, kind of robes, kind of blues, purples, and pinks, as he gets on up and kind of scratches his kind of curly hair and kind of moves it out of the way to kind of hook the hair on his fawn horn. And he gets on up and grabs a hold of one of the books on the side and he showcases it. And I would like both of you to go ahead and just roll a quick knowledge check if you're able to decipher the name of it, just on purely looking.
I got 13.
13 with
fear.
Fair.
15 with hope.
15 with hope. Okay. I would say that both of you are actually able to notice that. You see the text El Dorado on the front of the book itself. And it catches your eye immediately because as he opens it up, the torchlight kind of almost reflects off of the golden text. It kind of immediately catches your eye. You're able to kind of see that detail. And he flips through. And he showcases a very old picture and depiction of the three keys meeting and making this triangle. It's all in black and white, but that it kind of showcases like where they kind of actually slide into one another. And if they were to dissipate, the liquid immediately goes back to each crystal. Once some kind of mechanism is shifted and moved, it just goes right back in. You notice that on this depiction there is a lot of just very rough sketches of like this city that has these large pillars all around it. He states that, so this is the key to a place forgotten in time at this point. A lot of folk refer to it as the City of Gold. The city where technology was far beyond our comprehension. And just so happened, potentially had been, the folk that Ilya spoke with when you were all in Illidan. Survivors of the Calamity in this place. It is potentially a key to be able to grow us as a species, finding the rest of our kin up on the surface. Maybe technology that the Delvers have been looking for a very long time, to turn the tides against the Crawling King. I believe firmly, and he kind of taps the book, that they will be a key to our salvation.
If there are survivors, why don't they just come meet us?
It's whether or not they know our existence or they're afraid to leave whatever place has sustained them this long.
Say, who's to say they're not sieged right now? I mean, we've claimed this little chunk again, but...
One way to know is that these 3 keys will open up a gate to that. That being said, for some of the scholarly duties that you are now embarking on, Torrance had shown me and told me. He hands you the Tome of Dorado. Study it. See if you're able to find anything on your travels that meet or something that we might have missed during your travels.
I appreciate it.
There's one thing I need to ask.
Was it open?
Where do I go to become a slayer?
Personal
I've risked life and limb. I want to know. I want to help people.
You have plenty. Being a devil.
I want to be a slayer.
You should ask Zephyr. More than likely, though, it'll probably end up being, what's remaining of the Slayers Guild is in Illidan.
Okay.
But you have one in your party, you should ask him.
Do we know where the 3rd key is as well? I'm curious.
So the 3rd key, turn to page 421.
Hawthorne like roughly is counting. This one. Oh, this one.
So, this is down past the Great Graveyard. There, follow the lights from what we've depicted. And the 3rd key is in one of the Calamity scars.
Calamity scars?
Deep in the Calamity scars.
As in the Calamity scars that kills people when they get near them?
Precisely. Now, from what Wood has given me, they have been working on a charm in Illidan. Beethoven has led the research with the scholars there to be able to go ahead and create a charm that is resistant to a form of hellfire that the Calamity is wreaking. No better than a devil to be able to do that. Go to Illidan next. And there, hopefully, that'll be taken care of.
But in regards to fighting off the Crawling King, Hawthorne kind of steps to the side as there's like a little bit of a window behind her that I'm assuming faces towards the docks. She kind of gestures out and she's like, take a look at that.
I've heard. I heard in terms of the thunder that came.
We're not alone anymore.
We have, sir. So there's a resurgence in what?
Call it the gods, call it magic, I don't know, but I think there's someone else looking out for us.
We have it on our side. That being said, disturbing news has reached my ear that a report from Eddie. There's potentially forces trying to come from underneath settlements.
Yes. There's...
During the report that Eddie submitted, there was things from the void. This is news to us that there is still a connection to some ethereal plane.
The Void Realm. Void can There is a gate down below, and it was a portal. And undead were coming through. They were turning people undead, and not turning people undead. I'm sorry. Undead were coming through the portal, trying to break through the city. Voidkin from the Void Realm.
Do they mean us harm?
They helped us close the gate. But closing the gate was very challenging. It required blood to a certain amount. There was corpses everywhere. So we believe that there was a sacrifice made to open the gate. To have the two realms coincide with each other. But we closed it. But there might be more in the cities or underground somewhere.
You see him kind of like almost curl his goatee a little bit as you're describing this. And his hazel-like eyes just kind of meet yours and shuffle to Hawthorne. Well, that's ill news. Hawthorne, he turns around and kind of begins to shuffle through and pulls out another book. Everything that you might need to know on the Void. He hands it over, and it's kind of a smaller tome, something not dissimilar to like a traditional book. It might come in handy. I've already sent couriers out to the other settlements to look to see and make sure that there is nothing stirring underneath their own settlements. It's troublesome that it had already happened once. The fact that it could be happening anywhere and everywhere could be frightening.
I saw a vision of a woman as we were closing the gates. I don't know if this has to do with anything, but there is machinery on the other side of the portal, and this woman in red hair and white eyes. She looked like she was with some sort of knight, and I'm not sure if she was commanding these armies or not, but something to look out for. If you see a woman with red hair, white eyes, maybe just keep an eye out.
I'll alert the other settlements. Thank you, both. Well, it sounds like you both need some well rest. Make sure to get plenty of it. Whenever you decide to set off, please make sure that you come see me prior to.
Alright. Hawthorne kind of bows and gives a little curtsy as she walks out the door.
We're going to go ahead and resurface over to Zephyr and Felely. So, by the skin of our teeth, huh?
The skin of your teeth, baby. Feely does not have any skin on his teeth.
That's fair, Scotty. I got flesh holding them together.
He's just like cocky bastard.
Yeah, I love Felely so much.
He's just a piece of shit.
Refuses to yield, no matter what.
Yeah, it is Felely. He is a force of nature.
He is the unstoppable object.
He is. Zephyr laughs and kind of gives a chuckle. You thirsty?
I could use a drink, yes. I keep going Irish, I don't know why. Feely's like a, I don't know, European? I don't know.
Yeah, European.
It's like Spaniard.
Spaniard, yeah, it's kind of what. It's whatever comes in mind.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Whatever
He's a frog.
He's a
whatever
frog.
the bit requires.
Yeah, whatever the bit requires.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, we're owed a shit ton of drinks, apparently. Yeah, maybe we go get one. You down?
Feely agrees, but Feely needs to run to the potion shop first.
Alright. Sounds good. I'll meet you there. Felely, do you mind? And he hands you 6 gold pieces. Do you mind getting a commission for me while you're there? I need a potion of the essence of a hawk, if you could. I ran out.
Let's go Felely will get this done.
Thanks, Felely. The extra gold is for you. It's only 4.
Let's go Felely doesn't accept charity. He gets them back.
Throws it on.
So you could call
He
it.
grabs a hold of it. And is ever determined. You're more like your father, I feel, than most are. He gives a wave as he opens up the door, and Felely, you kind of have this chunk of change in your hand, and you see over to the right hand side. I would almost say that you don't see it first, but you feel a pulse, almost like a light migraine. And you notice immediately on the right hand side a giant going fist to fist with a full-blooded orc. And you immediately get this sensation, you almost tighten up immediately when blood just hits the floor and splatters in the sand as they are exchanging blows. You notice that the orc, full-blooded orc, kind of dashes on inside and begins to kind of just do 4 or 5 jabs kind of right where the kneecap is, hoping to bust it. And you notice that it kind of pops to one side and the giant kind of begins to fall. And when he does fall, you notice that the orc grabs a hold of the horn on top of the giant and kind of slams it down to the ground and raises up his hands in victory. You notice that his face is kind of smushed in and there's kind of blood dripping down. But your instincts, you just kind of almost breathe in that essence of blood, and you kind of almost taste the emotion of bloodlust of the people cheering as you grab a hold of the coin. What would you like to do?
First, I have a question.
Yes.
For vampire feeding, actually, I was reading my thing.
Yeah.
Is this only during combat thing, or can I do it during a rest as one of my actions?
You can do it during a rest. Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be a free action.
So
Now, bear in mind, I will allow the free action to go hunt. Let's just say you're in the middle of the woods, and you're like, "All right, team, I'm feeling peckish," and you go off and hunt something, feed off of it, bring back the meat to be able to cook or whatnot.
it's dehydrated.
Yeah, it's
Jerky.
Jerky, yeah.
Might be better.
You can dry cook,
There you go.
and you are also the chef, I think. Oh no, you're not. You are.
Yeah.
However, instead of rolling to repair your armor, that would be your free action.
Okay. But then, so on rest, I lose a vampire token.
Yes.
Would that just be negated if I feed instead?
That's correct.
So I would just keep it or add one.
Correct.
If I have none.
So if you have a vampire token,
Yeah.
then you would technically be considered not hungry.
Okay, so I would just keep the one because I'd lose one and gain one.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, yeah, I'm just gonna go buy potions.
Okay.
Yeah, Felely's mouth watering. He looks like a tweaker. He's kind of wandering, kind of scratching at himself a little bit. He's looking rough as he goes to the potion shop.
Okay. Inside the potion shop, was there anything that you wanted to purchase at all?
Yeah, I need health potions, and I was gonna. Felely wants to ask if this potion person sells anything for stress.
Yes. So you see the little goblin girl that had helped you previously. She does have kind of she has stamina potions. She has stamina potions. She has health potions. She only has 2 health potions left, just because she hasn't restocked since the day prior to when you all had purchased things. But she has plenty of stamina potions, about 6 on hand.
Oh, and that just clears how many? Do you roll for the stress?
So there'll be minor stamina potions that she has,
D4?
and it's a D4.
Okay. Can I make the stamina potions a cigarette, dude? Like Red Dead's Deadeye?
Yeah.
Just
She rolls
ripping a dart mid combat.
she rolls it up like she crystallizes it and then rolls it up in some paper.
Stamina cigarette.
Yeah, this request, she actually she's like, she'll mention to you like that it's actually fairly common to have it in this form.
Oh, fair enough.
So basically, the herbs that you would normally use to be able to make the stamina potion, you can actually make just instead of basically diluting it with water or a solution, you simply just end up ingesting it that way. So you get the recipe, and bear in mind that these stamina, we're going to call them stamina cigarettes.
Stamina cigarettes.
They take less materials to make. So she actually writes down a recipe for you if you ever want to get that, and you have an alchemist in your party to be able to make those for you. The recipe is essentially, because you have which recipes now? Health potion?
I have minor potion of healing, basic poison, potion of vitality, and then burn ointment.
So go ahead and add stamina cigs.
Hell yeah.
They simply need 2 ingredients. They need green tobacco, and so like kind of ripe tobacco,
Gotcha.
not dried out, as well as vine ripe powder.
Vine ripe?
Vine ripe powder. And that'll essentially, you're missing 2 ingredients to be able to use a proper stamina potion. However, the healing factor, so to speak, is going to be the same. However, some people are against the form of that. They'd rather digest it instead of smoke it. So in terms of resale value,
No.
essentially nothing.
Okay.
So that kind of how many packs did you need?
How much did these go for?
So essentially, you'd be looking at altogether, like, how many? I should reiterate.
Yeah, I don't know prices.
So
Prices
if you were
changed.
to do, prices have changed. So in order to get a proper health potion, you're looking at, it would be 6 gold coins.
Okay.
But you do have a discount with this lady. So it would end up just being 5
Okay.
for a health potion
For the miners?
for the miners.
Okay.
And the cigarettes, they would simply end up being about 3
Oh, 3 golds?
3 golds.
Dude. Okay, let me do some math.
The math.
Let's go feel this kind
She does have 2 health potions. She's able to make, with the current ingredients that she has, 2 packs. But technically, you smoke a pack to get the.
Okay.
You go through an entire
Yeah.
You put them all in your mouth and you just light all of them.
It works with Felely's like large.
like a harmonica.
You've also seen Hawthorne from time to time just
Eddie
like
just
stand
goes like
behind
this.
Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Hawthorne will like sneak one off of Eddie from time to time.
Okay, so 3 per pack. I'm gonna do.
Also, don't forget what's his nuts.
Oh, the hawk feathers.
Yeah, Essence of Hawk.
Oh yeah. And then I have. That one's pretty much free though.
But I think he gave you the right amount for that.
He
Yeah,
did.
the
So
exact
you don't have to
amount.
worry about it.
Okay. Then Vasco Feely would like 4 packs cigarettes and 1 potion of health.
Okay. 4 packs of cigarettes, 2 potions of health.
Just the one.
Oh, 1 potion of health. Okay. You already mathed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
She hands it on over, and you notice that when she hands over the pack, it's in a proper
Mopperos.
yeah, like a proper
Camel
pack of cigs.
With a very interesting 5-leafed little spike on it.
Yeah. You do notice there is right where the pack kind of folds in on itself. And you notice that the material is made there's a very thin leather that kind of holds it together. and there's a little like metal button that kind of holds it. But the button itself, you do notice that is with a leaf kind of like almost reaching out, but it is at the base being twined up by a vine.
Oh, that's cool.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Question to GM: if you keep the pack, so you don't have to buy like a pack.
I would say it's
Would
just
you
more
get a
for
discount?
flair. No,
Oh.
it's not like a
Like a recycle.
no, nothing like that.
Roll
But
your own joint.
the packs themselves are
Okay.
kind of nice quality.
Sick.
Hawthorne won't make bad bullets.
And then she hands you over like a kind of like a turquoise-like vial that looks like it has some sort of eye kind of floating into it.
This is the Hawkeye thing?
Yeah, ends up.
Essence of Hawk.
Yeah, Essence of Hawk. Hands it on over to you and gives it a quick bow.
Muchas gracias.
She gives a bow. And so, Felely, I know that you're kind of feeling a little yucky. Now, we'll put this in your court in terms of you're wanting
Balls in your
to
court.
feed at this point in time. How are you going about that?
I was actually going to skip it instead because we're probably going to rest anyway. So
That's true.
I'm just going to wait until then.
Wait until 9.
Yeah. I thought about it during the other conversation. I was like, I'm just going to hold off on the feed, I guess. It doesn't make sense to feed just to rest, to lose it, just to feed it.
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
guess that's metagaming, but, you know.
Yes.
I have a question after.
Go
I
for it.
wanted to try something. I wanted to fight in the arena thing.
You wanted to fight in the arena?
Yes, to GM if that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some extra shekels?
Yeah. You can definitely make some extra change.
I just don't know when it would be a good time because I want to make sure that.
That's fair. I will say that maybe Oram and Hawthorne. You notice as you kind of go downstairs, you see the giant kind of getting up and just kind of adjusting himself, and it looks like the knee didn't break, but it was enough to kind of pop it to the side and make him fall. But he's getting up, and you notice that like there's cheering, and they're all kind of talking amongst themselves. Oram, you go ahead and approach as you kind of see this, and you see on these kind of holding himself up just kind of barely, you see the full-blooded orc kind of swinging back and forth from this kind of large rope that is kind of holding the arena together. Very much almost like a boxing ring, but larger, where there's sand. And you notice him kind of like the blood dripping from his face, like half of his face is just swollen. And he spits out blood kind of down on the ground, and he looks at you with one of the eyes that is not swollen. You see kind of this blood red eye, very like green skin as in large tusks, and he kind of looks over at you as you approach.
I throw him a towel.
And he kind of like reacts slowly. It like throws up and it like hits him in the face, and it like gets hooked onto one of his tusks, and he's thanks, and grabs a hold of it and kind of wipes the blood from his face, and he kind of like sits back up and, what are you doing here, half-breed?
Thinking about fighting.
Fighting?
Is there any chance I can get in?
There's always chances. It's more or less of come on in, you throw down something valuable, and you fight for it. The two components. Sure, quite a few people would go after that axe of yours.
I have something else that might be interesting. I pull out the blue dragon gem. I show it to him. I let him touch it and like have him.
He doesn't touch it.
Okay.
He looks at it. Looks shiny. Probably able to contend against someone else with something similar.
Oram.
Dornan.
Good to meet you.
Well, if you come later tonight,
Usually that's when the big contenders come out and fight.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, it's usually not one-on-one, just as a heads up. But you climb on in, you throw your valuable onto the ground. So does anyone that compete, and beat the shit out of each other. Last one standing gets everything on the ground.
All right. I like that. Simple enough.
Come late at night.
All right.
I'll look for you.
Thank you, Dorado.
I'm gonna change his name to Boffin.
Thank you, Boffin.
Sorry, there's too many Dorans.
Doran,
Doran's
Goran.
ring.
Goran is the Void Ganassi that you all met.
The badass.
It's like goblin, and stop.
Keely, Feely. Was that Keely, Feely? Yeah. What were the other ones? Yeah.
So anyway, you do have that sometime later tonight. If you wanted to participate, you could.
I will do that.
I would say to kind of, unless there's anything that the two of you wanted to do, reconcile everybody.
So, let's go get drunk.
I was wondering if I could take a short rest, just because I forgot that I'm not at maximum capacity.
You do have
While they're-
Hawthorne. That's there.
Well, I don't want to.
I can.
I would say
rest,
that the doing a short rest and then immediately doing a long rest doesn't quite make sense in this situation.
Okay.
If you did want to get
Just 'cause
rested
I'm-
up or healed up,
Yeah, because I got like stress up the wazoo, and because I mean, after everything we did.
Yeah, I got you. Here, I'll cast Healing Hands on it real fast.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
Cool. No, I don't mind. I can use this as much as I have the ability to.
Doesn't cost you nothing?
Just cost me a stress.
You're okay on stress?
I'm a little maxed out, but
Well, we're gonna long rest.
we're gonna say we're gonna long rest.
Yeah.
So, 20. Okay, so I succeed on the spellcast. You can either clear 2 HP, 2 stress, or one of both.
I'll do 2 stress.
2 stress, clear it.
Okay.
I also burn that. Okay.
So Hawthorne, as you're kind of describe this to me as you've healed him up.
So as she's kind of like she pulls back out like that golden thread that she was using to patch up Zephyr's back, and she kind of twirls it around a little bit, and doesn't necessarily or she kind of like walks over, grabs like Oram a little bit, like rough, but as like a friendly way. Like they've known each other for so long, but like kind of like grabs his shoulder a little bit, twists it in the right angle, and just starts kind of like sewing it back up like Stitches style.
So is my shirt off? Is that how you heal people, or no?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, it's more like just the action of doing it nearby, I would say,
Okay, gotcha.
than actually like necessarily like actually stitching.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah, so you kind of get healed up a little bit.
get
Feel
a little
less
extra.
stressed out. So I'll go ahead and accelerate a little bit. So Felely, you eventually kind of make your way back over to the tavern. I'm going to say everyone just kind of meets over at Torrance. Hawthorne and Oram, you make your way. You notice that at this point in time, it's already feeling very like rowdy. There's a lot of people kind of surrounding around. You guys end up getting a table, and Captain Tusk is kind of sitting there with you, and you kind of explain basically everything that ended up happening during the moment. Actually, you know what? I'll kind of role play it out. So he ends up coming up to the table where you all are at, and you notice that Felely, as you kind of exchange the vial and whatnot, and Zephyr kind of gives a thanks, man, I really appreciate it. And he puts it in like he has a packet of vials and kind of clips it together. But Captain Tusk kind of comes around, and he's just in a celebratory mood, like excited, and ends up kind of walking over to all of you and just like throws out like ales for everybody because he's not entirely sure what to have gotten everyone, but there's kind of like this like very like wheat-based ale that he throws out in front of you all, and he kind of brings a hold of one of the chairs and swings it around and has the back right in front of him, and he kind of is leaning in, and this is a full-blooded orc as he's a very large man, as he kind of leans in with a drink.
Tell me about the tales. Tell me how you scourged out the abyss that seemed to have gotten over the seas.
Yeah, Hawthorne, how did you do that? I'm actually curious.
Oh yeah, fuck! I was the only one up there. Oh
Yeah.
So Hawthorne kind of leans forward and she goes, "I don't say this lightly, but," and she kind of just like looks around to make sure not like a bunch of people are listening.
There's a shit ton.
Everyone is
he's
gonna
leaned over like almost too close.
I can feel the fish coming off his mouth.
Yeah, well, you can hear the booze,
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
feel the booze, kind of that warmth behind him. But there's like way too many people just like looming on in. It almost feels like half the town is kind of crammed into this corner.
It's your time to shine.
She's like, she kind of looks around and sees everyone, and she kind of like hesitates for a second before bringing this up, and she goes, "Well, we obviously found where they're being kept. We, fought our way out. We, saved all we could, but unfortunately, obviously, we couldn't save everyone.
Yeah, tried your damnedest, though.
Damned we did, so... But, we made it out, and we were all swimming for the surface, and she gestures to Oram, Felely, and Zephyr, and kind of is like, I held the line. Me and Eddie, which... let him take his nap. But we made a gut for the surface. It was deep, but at the end of the day, she kind of peers out the window, and to kind of paint this picture, you can barely see like the glow of the one star in the sky, and she kind of gestures to it. She goes, well, I called out, and I begged anyone that would listen.
I'm kind of whispered, and they kind of begin talking.
Tell us, lass, what did you mean by it?
It's your time to shine. Awesome.
She leans even closer on the table. And she goes,
He gets closer. he is like in it.
He's locked in.
the gods answered.
Did the Sea Queen come?
Not the sweet queen. The sea queen. Hawthorne's a little drunk as she's telling this tale, and she goes, no. It was Ramza, the god of lightning and thunder.
And then I make like a sound effect.
And she kind of flickers some lightning in between her
Oh,
legs.
give
You
me a
hear this kind of like,
She goes,
Are you God touched, lass?
I got touched and so much more.
I love how you say that as I'm drinking.
Perfect timing.
But
So they exist, they're alive.
as far as I know, yes. And I think we're doing the right thing. We're bringing them back.
Bringing them back.
The tides are turning, damn it! I slam my hand down.
And Hawthorne raises a glass and stands to, kind of steps up onto the table.
Hell yeah!
She goes, to the gods!
to the gods! And they all kind of cheer, and you hear like this loud kind of like cheer and whatnot. And there's clapping, there's excitement.
What happened to the rest of the... Do you know what happened to the rest of our kin? The rest of our townfolk?
Unfortunately, they didn't make it.
Ah.
But we tried everything we could.
It was like this temple area. Down below, it was filling up with water, and we just couldn't save them all.
I'm glad that you saved who you could. That's what's important. First and foremost.
Life is a life.
Life is a life. Aye.
Some of these Merfolks were... At least I believe that something may have been possessing them.
That's it.
Because they swam away after we've obtained one of the relics that we needed. Dazed, confused.
Panicked.
So I don't know if they're... Some of them might not know what they were doing.
What do you make of this? Felely.
Felely believes they ran away because they feared me.
Ah, that's fair!
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that.
As I should. As I did in the Underdark, right? Am I right?
You see him kind of cheer around, and like you can see some of the orc folk, and predominantly where Felely you're from, it was almost a 50-50. Half just full-blooded orcs, and then half the frog folk.
What a population.
Everything, yeah.
So I say, do you think they're from the Underdark? Are they what we saw when our kin down below? Do you remember?
Felely always remembers.
Were they the same?
You can see he's a little intoxicated. He's got kind of a wild look in his eye.
Like, yeah.
Similar.
What was the same thing? What was different?
What the fuck's he referencing?
Just some of the beasts that kind of lurked where you're from underwater.
Oh, okay. So I'm just making shit up at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Felely recalls at home something akin to the Merfolk. I don't know what they were called at the time. I just know I didn't like them.
Fish faces.
Fish faces.
Fuck them.
Look the same. But as Oram mentioned, they did look different.
They did look different.
Glow in the eyes.
Usually they're pretty bright in the eye.
It's
I remember that.
dull color.
Oh. Interesting.
Cowards. Run away from a fight.
As they always do.
As they always did.
They go deeper and deeper in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you they're on the cliffside, underneath the chasm.
There was a child with a key in his head.
Key in his head. Is that the one that the Couriers or the Courier Guild were looking for?
That's right.
Ah, good. I heard it's big. I heard it's important. Whatever it's for.
Paid a lot of gold. That's what matters.
That's what matters. That's exactly what matters. Ah.
You're not bad for an orc.
Oh, you're not bad for a frog. Why didn't we get along down in the underneath? What was that?
Felely's a little racist.
So am I.
You understand.
I do. Why is it different up here?
Success. Victory.
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 Yeah, I can say to that.
You cheer, and you see some of the orcs kind of like gather around, and you know some of the waterkin kind of like beginning to perk interest and whatnot.
Now, to victory in blood we share. In blood we shed.
Indeed.
That's where we are here. We lost a lot of folk that didn't make it back. Thank you for bringing those that you did back. It means a lot to see my daughter, even though she can't see me. The fact that I can hold her hand again means more than I can say.
Hawthorne, can't you throw some magic dust on her eyes and bring them back?
I'm working on it. I hope so. I'm gonna...
If you ever do, if the gods are back, I'm willing to pray to anyone that's able to return her sight.
I shall see what I can do.
Ramza. Interesting.
Have you heard of him before?
Never. There's tales of the Queen of the Seas, Leviathan. Those are all texts, something the scholars, book readers are into. I'd rather live by the sea and die by it. The fact that there is hope, though, brings me joy.
That's... hope is what got Hawthorne is quite intoxicated. She's just been slamming drinks this entire time.
I've just
She's
been feeding you.
like, we're 13, 14 deep at this point.
Damn.
She's like, you know, hope is what got us this far. It's what got us back to the surface and, you know, fucking fixed it out. That's what matters.
We'll bring species together.
Yeah. Even they may hate each other, but it's good people, good hearts. That's what gets us through this nightmare.
It's good to
kind of cheers with his glass mug.
Well, there's enough storytelling for me for the night. It's getting late. I suggest you all get plenty of rest. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I'm curious to see what is out in the sea. I don't have the keen eyes underwater as our counterparts. Or even...
And he gives a nod of acknowledgement and pride to Felely.
To some of the frog kin. But I'm excited to see what's in the ocean now that my eyes have been removed. The blindness and the darkness.
And you can see as he gets up, he kind of stumbles.
Thank you again. Cheers for the heroes!
You hear the crowd kind of go across and
Hawthorne misses
drinks
like half the drink. It's just on her at this point. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Have a good rest.
Felely gives him a bow.
As he kind of gets up and he turns and he notices that the bow happened, he looks at you with his one kind of blue eye. And you see his tusk kind of raise up in a smile. And he turns and continues to head out. You can definitely tell that there was, at some point in time, definitely an odd tension between species. Whether it be competitive, whether it be whatnot. But as we've come up to the surface, some of that is melted away. So, the night becomes... I know that Felely has something he needs to do. I know that Oram, you have something that you want to do.
Yeah.
Hawthorne's passed out.
Okay, Hawthorne.
She's like using her wings to like help her walk up the stairs. She's like,
She's like leaning forward in the wings.
she's got him like pressed up against the wall.
Hints her in. I will say, Hawthorne, as you make your way to your room, you notice a red-skinned infernal knocking at Eddie's
God.
door.
Don't tell just that.
And she knocks and just nothing, and she ends up heading back down.
Oh! That's what he gets for missing out.
Do I do it to him? Do I be a bastard?
You gonna text him right now?
I would say
this
this.
Hawthorne want to try to flirt with her. Not gonna do that.
It's Mr. Steel Girl.
Or you could be a friend.
I could be. I will let her know that. Attempt to let her know through quite a slurred word or two that he is unfortunately unconscious due to our heroics.
Okay, I want you to go ahead and roll a presence roll with disadvantage. I'll roll the disadvantage die. Or actually, Felely, go ahead and roll the disadvantage die for me. Just to see if you can even produce that. Oh, dude.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Hawthorne is also going to go ahead and spend a hope to activate Bold Presence.
Okay.
There you go.
Given her wings are so wide at the moment.
Holding you up. I almost feel like a spider person where they're just like the legs kind of dangling.
Oh. Alright, 7.
It's almost like an act of God that she is kind of upright.
Yeah.
19. 19 plus 2 is 21 plus 3 for my strength modifier due to pulled presence. So 25.
25
With
minus
her
6, but still plenty.
19, yeah.
So you're able to
Close
convey
together.
that, and she, as she kind of like tries to navigate under your and whatnot, she's kind of like awkwardly trying to get. As you're holding yourself up, you comment this as you're like spider to the wall,
It's like a
basically.
limp puppet just hanging there.
But she takes what you say to heart, and she kind of like gives a smile and the pin that Eddie gave her, and kind of gives a little shrug and looks at you and kind of gives a wink of acknowledgement and ends up heading downstairs.
Yours true G.
Yeah, you're a real one.
You're a real one.
I had to, he's my boy. He's my child.
All right, to Oram. And during this time,
I have not been.
Felely, I want you to kind of think about how you're going to be feeding tonight.
Sure.
Kind of have that in the background of your mind, and we'll go through checks and things like that. So, Oram, you end up going back to the Courier's Guild.
I was not drinking that much. Okay.
Okay. Well, you kind of knew that what you were planning.
Yes. Just so you know.
Yeah.
No disadvantage.
So you fuck me.
So you end up making your way over, and you kind of pass by. Like you notice that the town is lit up with the blue flames, kind of signifying that it is nighttime. But something that you notice as you kind of trail to the northern portion of the bell, that you can just barely see, even though it is dark out, you can kind of barely see some of the ruins that you had seen underneath the water as you walk by. Because once again, the bell itself is clear of any darkness that was there. And just a little minor detail that you pick up as you kind of walk around. You feel the sand kind of beneath your boots. You notice that the town is in a decent amount of cushion. It's not super, super late at night.
Yeah.
But you kind of make your way over to the Courier's Guild. Inside, as it opens up, you notice that it is just as busy, if not busier.
Can I drink a minor potion as I'm walking there?
Yeah.
Oh, I got 3 HP.
3, there you go, 3 HP.
That's good.
So you kind of walk on in, and you notice that it's just about as busy as it was inside Torrance Bar. It definitely seems like this group
This
of
is the
individuals,
after party.
like there's a lot of like pubs around. However they make their booze or find their booze is unbeknownst to you, but there seems to be a plenty. And you notice that immediately that there is, a fight seems to have just been finished. You do see like a elven female kind of just draped in what looks like kind of like a gi, kind of like a similar robe to what Tyr wears, being pulled off, and you notice that on the inside that there is, interestingly enough, and you've met one of these species prior to, at the Mermaid's Kiss, so at the club, you see a kind of young Nor-looking fox, kind of a fox person, kind of dust off the blood from her knuckles, and kind of hops on top and over, does a little somersault over the actual ropes themselves. You see kind of immediately this very tall ribbit, actually almost double the size of Felely. And you notice that he kind of goes on up and he kind of lets out this like cheer amongst the crowd. And it said, and Zhang is the winner! And everyone was like, woo! They had won. And she had collected like whatever trinkets and things like that were on the ground. Now who would be next to go next and fight in this arena? And he kind of has almost like a flamboyance to him, this almost like ringleader looking kind of attire as he stands proud, straight and proper as he begins to kind of present in the deal. And you notice that immediately like a what the hell are they called? Oh, a Qatari, so the same species as Zephyr. Kind of hops on up, and you notice like kind of a sharp-featured male, brown hair, almost auburn looking, kind of hop in, and he kind of stretches out his fingers and kind of cracks his knuckles in that way. Once again, this is bare knuckle fighting. Last one standing gets whatever's in the center. And you notice, like, what are you offering today, son? And he ends up kind of taking out like this pouch, and he kind of holds it up, and everyone kind of cheers out as he holds it. And let me say the good, son. And he holds it up, and he like looks inside. Right, gems and swords. Throws it out into the middle of the pit, it makes kind of like a solid sound with a slight jingle to it. You notice that a dark elf or drow, I guess one could say, hop into the ring itself. She kind of pulls up her long white hair up into like kind of like a knotted bun, and you notice that she's wearing these kind of like purple, almost robes on her, and kind of adjusts herself. And you notice that one of her eyes is cut, and it's like that kind of clouded look in one of the eyes, but her other eye is like a striking kind of red. And she hops on over and she throws out what looks like almost like an ivory looking dagger onto the ground. And he raises up and another reoccurring attender, Indinen is here. Indinen. Anyone else want to go ahead and partake in this extravaganza?
I raise my hand as I'm walking forward, and then I pull out my like the sapphire gem.
Oh, okay. The dragon talisman, and you throw it on out into the center, and he like a new contender. What a pleasant surprise! Come on in, lad.
I take off my armor, and I'm just have like my chest is like bare, but my legs are obviously everything's good.
Right. Let's get these folks wrapped up. Anyone else wanted to go in and contend? And everyone kind of murmuring amongst themselves, looking at what's in the pit, deciding whether or not, like, do I have something that could go ahead and go into that pit? Is it worth enough to actually go ahead and contend? And it seems like everyone comes to the consensus of that's it. Let's get these folks wrapped up. And then you see, like, everyone kind of goes to a corner. And you notice in the corner of your eye, like, the Qatari, as an example, kind of lifts up his hands, like, right where the wooden post is, and holds out his arms. And you see, like, basically two, like, one Norfox beginning to wrap rope around the arms and kind of bring in and wrap around the knuckles. And you kind of follow suit. You wrap around and you see the orc from before. And he kind of gives you like a nod, and his face is still fucked up. But he begins kind of wrapping around. So, the key in this, lad, is that you're going to want to make sure you assess who you're going to go ahead and strike first. And he kind of moves over to the other arm, begins to kind of tie that rope around, kind of giving you this rope knuckle, essentially. Now, if I was a betting man, I would go ahead and go against the Qatari. They're fast, but not as strong as what I've seen. Indinen. She's a hard hitter.
Okay. Thank you.
Sometimes temporary alliance is something that you need. Find out who you need to go ahead and team up with, and then fight each other to the end.
All right.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, half-breed. Hits you in the chest and throws you out. At this point in time, the three of you would kind of begin to circle around, and you can notice right in the centers where everyone kept everything. Almost immediately, the Qatari ends up kind of making a dash forward.
I'm dashing forward, too.
Okay. So you make a dash forward. He is going towards the ivory dagger as he kind of makes a dash for that particular item.
Okay.
You're intercepting?
I'm going to hit him as hard as I can.
Okay. I need you to go ahead and roll your hope and fear dice.
We need some combat music.
It's a critical hit.
I know, I'm going to get that. It is a critical hit.
Also,
let's go ahead and get to, yeah.
That's some Oblivion combat music on. Ladies and gentlemen. Imperial City Arena.
Also,
Grand champion.
if I'm not mistaken, Life Ward should also be still active because I've not cast it on another person, you have not expended a death move, and I have not taken a long rest as of yet.
Oh, okay. So that's still there.
Oh, you're the Great Prince, dude.
So,
I'm the great.
Great
I'm literally
Prince.
the great prince.
yeah. So, critical success. You won't have to roll damage at all. This is more based on number of hits.
Okay.
So he kind of makes a quick dash out for it, but he didn't quite expect Oram to dart as quickly as he did. So he reaches out to go ahead and do that. And he almost jumps to leap to try and grab and then roll. But as he goes out, Oram, you dash forward and hit him immediately right up into the sternum. And when that happens, with a critical success, boom, when that happens, the back of his shirt busts because of the actual impact.
Frame.
And the actual, like, his shirt just tears open as you immediately make contact with him. With a critical success, you continue to push him and launch him off into the side. He hits the rope, and he immediately is just in this form of, like, holy fuck. I'm going to say immediately as that had happened, unbeknownst to you, you immediately you see onto the corner behind you, this drow ends up kind of jumping up, flipping up, and when she does a quick windmill kick, swings her back leg around and brings it over to go ahead and try and strike you in the back of the neck. Let's see if that ends up happening. 4. 15.
15 hits.
15 hits. So she goes ahead and strikes. And when that happens, you almost feels like this, right what's holding your eye sockets in, almost feel like it pops out. Base level damage with her strength modifier. And you don't have armor in this. Everyone has armor off, just as a heads up. So, causing you 4 damage.
Okay.
So that technically,
Minor.
it would end up still being in your minor because you're level 4.
Right.
So she hits you and you,
one?
1 damage. So she ends up whack you in the back. At this point in time, the Qatari ends up getting on up and begins charging over, and you notice that he ends up sliding, trying to go ahead and hit, like basically right underneath you, almost like a cheat blow. Kind of slide underneath you and strike. Let's see if it ends up hitting. 12.
Just hits.
Just hits. Okay, so he slides underneath you, and almost like a trickster that he is, he kind of whips around, and like there's like a little bit of a leather material underneath like your where your pants are. He grips a hold of your pants and almost kind of tears his claws in, and just immediately like strikes into where your kidney is, making you gasp out in a little bit of breath. Go ahead, your move.
I'm going to berserk.
I would say that doesn't happen yet because we don't have any of the moves yet.
Damn it! I was hoping it would activate maybe this
This is
time.
what caused it.
We don't have
This is what
that
caused
character
it.
sheet. You know what?
Fuck it.
Do it.
Tooth dice.
Dice.
Let's see if this awakens within you. All right. Similar to before, 10 to 20. This rage within you activates. Something below does not. Skadoosh. 14.
It's
Okay.
go time.
At this point in time, describe to me what boils inside of you.
Obviously getting hit. Experiencing everything that has just happened and experiencing everything from the past. This uncontrollable rage builds up inside of me. Anger that I've only felt when I was recently closed the mouth.
Yeah.
Uncontrollable rage.
Okay.
So, my body temperature starts feeling rising, and I'm starting to overheat.
Okay. Absolutely. So you begin kind of overheating, and you feel this, and you notice that some of the. I would say actually you don't see this. No one can really see this at this point in time, but particularly your face seems to get very hot. You kind of go into this rage mode at this point in time.
As I do, and can I have it to where that sigil starts like spreading around me like it did before, or no?
I will describe it to you. What are you
Okay.
going to do in this moment?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that Qatari's face, smash it into the ground, and start punching him.
Okay. I
Constantly.
need you to go ahead and roll to hit.
10. Are we doing strength as well or no?
It would be technically, yes.
Okay, so 13.
13 just hits. Okay, so you end up kind of grabbing a hold of this as he kind of slashes up. You grab a hold of this individual, kind of grab him in the face, and just boom, and does that. And when that happens, you kind of feel this kind of ripple, and it almost like vibrates the back of your muscles as it, almost like Hawthorne's wings, kind of just feel almost, well, you know what? I would rather describe it like this. It feels like claws have like dug into your back, as if leaving just this horrific mark. You can't just like see it, you can't describe it, but you feel as if claws have just dug into your back, and you let out this kind of barbarian like rage as you let out, and you feel the tendons in your skin kind of fluctuate. And when you slam him to the ground after the critical success from before, he is knocked cold. You notice that the dark elf kind of takes a step back, and at this point in time she readjusts. You notice that she goes from like hopping on her toes to kind of planting herself down into the ground. When she does, she swings out one leg and kind of widens her stance and crouches down. She's going to go ahead and try and roll the hit. A critical success, double threes. So when she does this, she kind of gets on down, and you notice that she is calm for just a sec, and almost in a blink of the eye, disappears. For a sec, as you kind of throw this down, you look around, and you can't see her anywhere. But as you look up in the sky, you notice that she is right up, almost in the spotlight of this light, this torch that's kind of coming down. And she comes on down, and when she does, she elbows you directly, like, right into the side. Now, I need you to go ahead and do a strength check to see whether or not she paralyzes you.
For 15, 16, 17, 18.
18. Okay. So when she hits down, boom, you feel your neck crack. However, you do not pass out.
Nice.
That being said, in terms of damage, because of the critical success, okay, that is technically a total of 6 damage. So that would reduced
because of,
so it'll be 1 HP down. So when it cracks, and you feel like almost a sense of relief, as if you had a knot in your neck, and you pop it back into place. And when that happens, her one eye, red, kind of goes wide as she kind of kicks
grab her
off of you.
I grab her.
Go ahead and roll to see if you can grab it.
9, 10, 11, 12. Was it with strength?
It wouldn't be with...
As agility?
It would be strength. Well, no, it would be finesse, technically.
Would it be finesse?
Yeah, because it's how quick.
Alright.
So -1.
Strength specifically lists grapple.
Yeah.
To grab... Well, you know
Yeah,
what?
'cause
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
grappling
say
her.
that. You end up grabbing... As she flips on back, you grab a hold of her boot. What are you doing? She's kind of like...
I'm going to slam her into the ground and I'm going to elbow her in the face.
Okay, I need you to go ahead and roll to hit. So you grab a hold of her and you bring her in.
And I want her to, like, as she's looking at my eyes, I want to, like, when I'm berserking, because you know how your eyes can change? I think that's how it is, right, with D&D? So instead of red, like, they're, like, bright purple.
Okay, absolutely.
11.
Definitely hits. So you end up bringing her down and then go ahead and roll damage.
What would it be for...
It would end up being a D4.
D4?
Plus your strength modifier.
What about your berserk? Does that add to it?
If he ends up using a stress, technically it would
Yeah, I'll
add
do
to
it.
it, but you're going to use a stress?
I'll
Okay.
use a stress.
Okay, then you'll add a D6 on top of that.
Dude, berserk's kind of badass.
Yeah, we flushed it a little bit out. I haven't, made it just yet.
1. And then you said plus D6.
Yeah, pretty much.
4.
Just want pictures.
Yeah, basically.
So
So you do kind of bring her in, and she notices that as your eyes kind of flash from the kind of blue that they are to warping to almost like a purple, and you smack her down to the ground, leaving her unconscious. So you notice that
You son of a bitch.
you notice that like she just like clumps to the ground, and then the frog kind of like you immediately say, "The victor!" and you notice him, and there's like for some reason a couple of goblins like shining like a light over in his direction. He's on one of the pedestal or the poles of the actual ring itself, and he holds up his hands like this, and he flips back and does like a kind of like a quick somersault, and somehow, some way, lands right beside you and grabs a hold of your hand, which is stuffed in her face, and lifts it up with difficulty. He kind of gets partway and gets the other hand up, and then everyone kind of goes wild. There you go, son! Another victory! Go ahead and claim your prize. Now get these. Go ahead and get the wombs out here. And you notice like a pack of like goblins kind of come on out, and they begin to drag the bodies over. Oram, you once again are able to retrieve your medallion, which I'm not entirely sure what that purpose
I don't know what it is, but it's shiny.
You end up getting a ivory dagger.
Nice.
You're not entirely sure the stats of that particular thing. And then a bag of gems, which I will immediately convert to roughly about 1 bag of coins.
Yeah,
I'm just going to convert the currency.
Oh yeah, I was gonna give the orc that helped me out one gem just for helping me out for the advice.
You kind of approach on up to it, and you hold out like one of the gems. Kind of you pull out like a green one just from it, and you kind of toss it his way, and you notice that it kind of hits him in the face. Kind of similar when you tossed him a towel. You can tell like he's suffering like a concussion, hardcore.
Oram's not making
And
it.
he like blinks with his one eye and reaches down and grabs it, and he looks at it and he's like, "Thanks, mate." And he kind of like gives you a pat. I'm gonna go get fucked up at the bar, and he moves on over to the bar that's nearby. But he did seem very appreciative, not fully coherent.
Is he gonna be okay?
So we can call Hawthorne.
So that being said, that ends that.
Good shit.
Good shit.
I thought you were gonna lose to Wolben for a second.
Yeah, did that part out. Did that part out.
No.
I honestly was like worried that I wasn't gonna end in rage because like as soon as you said critical, I was like, I'm so fucked.
Yeah.
All right, this brings us to Felely. Felely, you kind of wait, I would say, until pretty late. Although, weirdly enough, you do feel a little bit more alive during this time. You begin craving anything. You're thirsty. You begin kind of rushing around. There's like a bottle of rum in your room that you might have brought up, or wine, and you kind of just begin to kind of chug it. It's not satisfying you at all, and you kind of reflect back in the moment of your dream, and even in combat with the Merfolk. What are you doing?
Felely remembers seeing people fighting, like the whole fist fight, and I guess he kind of like heard word that Oram was out there fighting too.
Yeah.
So I guess his first thought was saying, somebody's probably brutally fucked up. And they probably can't fight back.
Yeah.
They can probably
He's
just...
gonna kill your friend.
So I was gonna try and see if he can find one of the losers,
Okay.
and see if I can find like where they took them, or if they like wandered home.
Okay.
Just to go rest or something.
Now, are you kind of doing this like casually, just kind of like you maybe had popped in? Well, the fight had already ended. This is kind of late at the time.
Did you watch the fight?
No, I think he was just chilling at the bar.
I need you to go ahead and roll a presence check with advantage.
Well, I do have disadvantage right now because I'm hungry.
Oh, you are hungry.
I have no tokens.
Oh, okay. In that case, it will be with disadvantage.
Okay.
You do know about where the fight had taken place. You notice that as you kind of walk into the Courier's Guild.
15. Who wants to roll disadvantage?
Hold on for it. Or,
I can do it.
yeah, do it.
So 15 fear. 2.
2.
So 13.
13. So you are able to kind of
respect.
like, you walk on up. Thank you, sir. So you walk on up and you notice a dragonkin kind of manning the bar at the Courier's Guild. You inquire about the whereabouts of like some of the fighters that had taken loss, and he freely gives the information with your presence check. That that there's a local infirmary here in town that the scholars run, and gives you the location of it. Kind of not too far away from the Mermaid's Kiss, kind of like where the club was at. Kind of just further down towards the entrance of town. I assume you make that way.
Yeah.
So you end up heading that way, and when you do, kind of casually end up like walking like nothing's different or anything of that nature. You notice that there is a crowd kind of accumulating on the outside of that club. You do overhear, just briefly, with your heightened senses. Do you hear what happened to Chocolate? Oh yeah, you can't reserve anything from him anymore. Do you think that he's alright? I heard that there was something bad that happened recently. I don't think he's alive anymore. Who would do such a thing? I don't know. Maybe an angry customer. It's always a risk when it comes to the line of work. You kind of just hear this bickering, like this talking, this rumor spreading, it's kind of happening as you walk on by, almost in a trance. You pick up just these pheromones and all kinds of things just from the people, whether they're craving something more primal, if you will, as they begin to enter into the Mermaid's Kiss. But you walk down over and through like different like homes and things of that nature. You begin feeling like heavy with each step. You're not entirely sure as to why, but man, your mouth feels as if you had engulfed sand. It feels grainy, it feels dirty, it feels you have to clean it. You have to rid yourself of this powder that feels like it's in your mouth, as if you're decaying from the inside out and you're choking on your own innards. You make your way down across this area, around a few alleyways, being quiet. No one seems to notice. Eventually you end up making your way to this infirmary, and you see quite a few people inside. In fact, some of the people that you had recently saved, your party members had. Missing limbs, holding themselves, kind of beginning like some form of medicated treatment. The lights turn off. You notice that the lights dim from the inside to an almost entire black. You feel yourself still heavy, but the moment that those lights turn off, you almost sink into the ground, into the shadows below you. And almost like you are hovering from shadow to shadow. You see down below, I need you to go ahead and roll a knowledge check. Still with disadvantage because of meeting.
Alright. So, cocked but 4? Ooh. So, 6 hope, and then minus.
-3.
So 3 hope.
3 hope. All right. This being said, you're at a point of just needing something to kind of seep into the cracks of your own skin, your own throat, to fill that empty space. You're not entirely sure whom you are going after. This being said, there are a total of 20 people. I need you to roll your 20-sided dice. Not the tooth.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Just regular die.
Now, give me 1 sec.
Tusk
Okay.
really doesn't discriminate. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. I've quickly discerned who are some of the people that you saved,
They can get it.
as well as that's fine.
Tusk Felely shows no mercy.
As well as
He would have cut the rope.
he would,
You would.
as well as some of the fighters.
Okay.
I need you to go ahead and roll your 20-sided dice.
Skadoosh. 7.
7.
Seaman.
Seaman. Feely, you notice in particular at this point in time, almost it's hard to quite discern what you see, what you feel. But as you're standing over, actually I should reiterate, you find yourself under one of the beds themselves. You're not entirely sure how you got there, but you are here. What do you smell as you are underneath this bed?
I guess just the rank odor of people.
Rank odor of people?
Yeah, because I feel like it's like almost like a pheromone, like a musk, but like even though it smells like shit, he kind of likes it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Attracted to it?
Yeah.
Wanting it?
Yeah.
Needing it? You creep around and up. And as you look down, in your mind's eye,
The whispering eye.
the whispering eye, with a 7,
Seaman.
it is in front of you, female, brown-haired, human,
Cool. Best flavor.
in front of you. You can discern that it is not one of the people that were recently saved.
Okay.
How are you feeding off of this individual? How are you keeping it quiet? Because you know that she'll scream.
Yeah, true.
She will let out a cry.
That is tough. I was hoping they'd be unconscious, I guess. Let's do. What do I have?
You know you need it though.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, she's in the infirmary.
She is. You've made no sound thus far. People are beginning to drift to sleep. However, you don't seem to have disturbed anyone at this point in time.
Can I drive my sword through her throat?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have to roll for that?
I would say that you don't have to. I would say finesse roll to see how quiet and swift you are. You're not rolling to hit.
Okay.
However, how quick of an executioner you can be, even though the thought of her blood entering you quivers your hand. It's not as steady. So you'll be rolling with disadvantage.
Okay. I mean, I was rolling with disadvantage anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
Double
and that-
disadvantage, dude.
No, it's not
Minus
double. It's not
12.
double. I'm just giving a little flair as to why.
Okay.
Did you want me to?
15 fear.
Go
Am I
ahead.
rolling? Okay.
Yeah. Two. So Feely, even though you're trembling, you take out not your sword, because it hurts to look at that. You have a dagger off to your side that you've always used just in case, hidden underneath your boot or on the side of it. You take out a dagger and quickly and swiftly cut her throat.
Sick.
You immediately, as it cuts, her eyes open up. you quickly put your hand on it. She only makes a murmur, but not enough to distract anyone. You reach down and begin to draw from her essence. Do you take what you need, or drain her dry?
I'm draining it, yeah.
Yeah, her throat's
She's
cut.
dying anyway.
Yeah. You feel as if as you begin to drink, the blood begins to coat. It begins to fill. It begins to, for lack of better words, lubricate your interior. You feel once again stronger. You feel healthy. You feel almost satisfied, but not quite. Go ahead and add a blood token to yourself. And you end up making it out without a peep. When that happens, and you feel like you've gotten enough, your head rolls back, and as if weight takes you, you fall back. And when you're about ready to hit the stone floor, you fade into shadow and wake up the following morning, feeling pretty damn good.
Hell yeah.
All right. So that being said, morning is nigh. Before we go ahead and we still got about 20 minutes left of this session. You all get a long rest. Yes. Go ahead and you pick your two things. Felely, your free action, of course, was feeding tonight. But heal up your HP, heal up your stress, whatever have you, whatever you're feeling.
And can I use my alchemist free action in the morning to go search for just some ingredients?
Absolutely. What are we going to go ahead and search for?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do we want... I think she's going to specifically look for vine ripe powder.
Vine ripe powder. Okay. I would say that in terms of from your alchemist book that you had gotten, that Oram had given you, I want you to go ahead and roll a d4 and see how much you're able to harvest.
That's a 4.
4. So you find, kind of on the outskirts of town, you notice that kind of like a bundle of it kind of growing on the side of actually the I want to say the walls of the city, on the outskirts of the city, facing oddly north to where there seems to be forests out into the distance. But you are able to go ahead and gather 4. A quantity of 4 when it comes to that particular vine. Good.
Sweet, thank you.
Yeah. So that'll end up being your free action. And then what did everyone pick, just so for reference? I'll start with Felely.
Stress. Clear my stress.
Clear your stress and we're
Yeah.
in the second item?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just use my other thing as the feeding, I guess.
Okay.
As an
Sounds
action.
good. Yeah, makes sense.
What would my free action be?
So you're able to cook. If you wanted to, you can prepare a meal for everybody.
I
To
don't have
have-
any food though.
So you don't have any
Could
food
I-
at this point in time.
Could I work with
I would allow you
Torrance?
to be able to work with Torrance Chef to be able to kind of spruce in. He gives you access to the kitchen just because of that. Now I need you to go ahead and roll a d4 since you're just beginning. Basically, how many temporary HP that you're going to give everybody?
What?
4?
4. What do you end up cooking?
We're gonna do some hunter stew.
Hunter stew in the morning? Sure.
I'll fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck with it.
Absolutely. What's inside hunter stew?
it's I don't even know like what's the
I'll give you what it is.
yeah. I was gonna say.
So I want you to go ahead and write this down because it is now a recipe that you have. So you're able to find, and this is as simple as small game, and this is things that they had in their, this is part of their menu. But it'll end up being small game, you end up adding kind of a mirepoix. So you have your celery, carrots, onions, as well as a beef stock.
Okay.
You were able to find, and it's hard to find, but you're able to find sauerkraut. Basically to go ahead and give it a certain time, or a certain tang, along with just some hearty potatoes. It's a good hearty breakfast.
Celery, carrots, onions, potatoes.
So that, go ahead and add to your recipe book, being a chef.
Hunter stew.
So you now know if you were to get those ingredients, here's something that you're able to go ahead and make.
Yes, I need to write down +4.
Okay. At this point in time, you do notice you kind of all gather around, kind of down in Torrance bar. You notice immediately Oram had woken up a little bit early, and he had done some prep work with the chef there. And you were kind of cooking alongside a hobgoblin, a larger goblin, kind of with his hair like turned back. You notice that he kind of has like almost a skull cap, so he's balding up top. He has like 2 tusks, long elongated jaw, kind of like the head is the largest portion of his body. But the two of you end up making quite the stew. And he presents it out, and you see Oram kind of sitting down next to you and kind of telling everyone to dig in. So add temporary health. And what I want to do for temporary health
I was curious.
is that you end up kind of putting like a single, almost like a minus sign in the empty blocks.
Okay.
That'll be temporary health. That way there's no confusion of that.
Okay, cool. So a minus in these.
Kind of like just like a dash on the inside.
Yep, just a dash on the inside. And then basically that you'll deplete those before you start going into the blocks.
Yeah.
if
Instead of
that
actually
makes sense.
marking a block, you just wipe it.
Correct. Yeah. And those that you have more health than what you started with, I want you to go ahead and, well, no, because you might lose, depending on like a situation with Felely, you might lose permanent
just
health
do the-
or a permanent stress, as an example. That being said, high-level alchemy with extreme level of materials could permanently increase your HP or permanently increase your stress. Just as a heads up. A little added flair to that. Or even a tempering for an armorer. So even though you might have a armor capacity of 4, you can over temper at higher levels to add to that. So you might all of a sudden have a 6.
Cool.
So that's as you begin to develop your
As we go further.
subclass. Yes. But right now everyone's at a foundational, but kind of just ideas as
I'm
they're
gonna need to get a
developing in
book.
my brain.
Yeah. Like a book.
So at this point in time, you can see that Zephyr is kind of chowing down on his stew, and kind of you notice that he has a few different maps that he kind of is coordinating.
All right, so the next obvious place for us to go to be able to fill this out is back to Illidan. Circling back. However, we can take 2 paths. We can either go through... It looks like this giant mountain region.
And he kind of holds out a map in front of you. You notice east of you is this giant mountain.
Or... I don't know how the waters are, but we can take a boat circling the southern coast up to... Looks like a port town that'll lead into Illidan. What pathway do we want to go?
Shit.
He says, is there any advantage to either path?
What do we know?
I was gonna say, do we have any like idea of anything? Or?
What do we know about these environments?
Don't you have like a map?
Oh yeah, Hawthorne does have the map from the scholars.
She does.
Kind of the yeah.
Try and reference it. See if you can.
Yeah, see if she can kind of piece together anything in her head. And with everyone else.
So, Hawthorne, we're here. If we were to go south, Illidan is up here.
Oh, fuck.
If we were to go south, there's a port town that we can make our way up and around. We avoid this great graveyard. There seems to be a scar here. The natural courier path is through these mountains, through the great graveyard, and up north. But if we take the sea path, we can make ourselves way to what's called Port Delida, which we've never been to. Then we go through the marsh of the Bog of Three Lights and make our way to Illidan. Or, once again, the courier path. We'll end up going from lighthouse to lighthouse. Now, from what I understand, the scar is where the next temple is. So, it's more or less whichever way we feel like going. What do you all think?
I'm down for a boat adventure.
I think since we've cleared the water,
Yeah.
sailing might be better.
It would be uncharted waters, but at least we can see what's underneath now.
True. We have blessings.
Felely, you've been quiet. What do you think?
Alaska Felely thinks boats are for cowards, but if that's what you guys want, that's okay.
Are we going by boat?
I think we're going by boat.
All right. Eddie's gonna be upset.
Is he just still unconscious?
He hasn't come down.
We've noticed like an increasing warmth radiating from his room as the day is gone on.
He's just kind of like
He's slowly like kicking up.
All right. Well, I'll find and see if we can book passage. That being said, I don't think any of us are seamen. We might need to go ahead and hire an extra hand.
I might know someone. Tusk could help us. I was going to say, Tusk, our boy. See if he'd give us some passage.
Love his lads.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good idea. All right. I'll get with him. Set sail. Either today or tomorrow.
Sweet.
Do you guys want to go? Which way? When?
2 days. Gives us a little bit more time in town. Stock up on supplies.
I think you had something, right?
Yeah, I gotta go pick up something at the shop.
There's that green caps too. in
Oh, the red
forest.
caps.
The red caps.
Actually, I took a look. That bounty's no longer there.
Damn.
Yeah. Turns out some dark elf fighter took care of it by herself. Anyway. Alright. Sea passage it is. Couriers, we're gonna need a lot out of you. So you know. Moving on. Alright, I'll get things settled. I'll chart our path with Tusk.
Do you
We'll head
think the boat's the best option? Or?
Yeah, what do you think?
I've only gone the carrier path. But I'd be curious to see what kind of things are out in the ocean, to be honest.
You're not
More
afraid
for
to
my-
go that, are you?
I hate water.
He's a cat after all.
However,
And he holds up his notebook with the Slayer symbol.
more data for humanity. I think that would be best. Speaking of, Felely, do you know what that creature that young thing that you ate the head off of, what did it look like? I was helping Oram during the time, but I noticed it praying, he, she, whatever.
Tabasco, it appeared to be just a child.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell what it was. It was very decomposed.
Humanoid.
Humanoid, but when I took the key from his head, I saw a vision. I don't know if that'll help you. It was of
He takes out his notebook.
Hawthorne is also doing the same.
I think it was like a dragon in the sky, and then blood started coming down. I forget the vision.
Yeah, there was kind of blood raining from the ground. It looks like there was a weird cycle of life and death.
Yeah.
But there was like a giant skeletal figure that broke the dragon. And that's when it broke, blood began kind of trickling down. And the child was looking up at the sky as this was happening.
So I feel like I saw a serpent dragon in the sky. And some skeletal hand came up out of nowhere and ripped that motherfucker in half. And then blood came from the sky. It was insane. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if that makes any sense to you.
I'm curious about the skeletal hand. So, they say that the Crawling King severed ties to different planes of existence. But we never got a depiction of the king itself. If it was large enough to grab a proper dragon by the throat,
It was big.
that's something to document.
And he kind of writes on down. You notice that he etches like a giant kind of skeletal hand, gripping, kind of like the depiction that we saw in the mural of this large, serpent-like dragon. And he kind of etches it in.
So when it comes to the Crawling King, we're looking at something fucking massive.
Not too big for Felely.
Never too big. Honestly, in my experience, the larger the things are, there's usually a pinpoint, an Achilles heel, if you will. Maybe we should pay more attention to the bigger picture. Not to say we're some god slayers, but from what I heard, maybe there's some of them still existing. I'll take note of that. Thank you, Felely.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That being said, that ends tonight's session. So, thank you once again. We are past the dice. Thanks for joining us on tonight's session, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh.